Hollerin with Hollenbeck. Holleback. Joey Hollenbeck. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Full Body Cast Presents Hollerin with Hollenbeck. We got Joey Hollenbeck on the mic.
What's up, guys?
Now, who is Joey Hollenbeck? You know, we've done about 1 billion episodes, and I got to remind people every once and now and again who this guy is. We were best friends growing up, and we did everything together. Actually, no, we rekindled the romance. Actually, there was no romance to begin with, so there was nothing to rekindle.
Didn't even know who you were.
Yeah, we went to the same high school, small town, Pacific Northwest, Enumclaw, Washington, and Joey made a name for himself. He said, you know what, I'm going to go play football. And he played football very well. He played for Enumclaw, he played for Wazoo, and he also played in the NFL for a few teams, including the Seattle Seahawks. By the way, we'll talk about that in a second. But he's moved back. He's here. And so we caught up, recently, probably a couple years ago. That's recent in life. Anyway, I'm doing a podcast.
Now we're here.
All right. So Joey, I've got so much to talk about. I got.
Can we address the smoke in the room real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, it smells like a nice.
It's a teak wood.
It smells like a nice. Like there's some good flavor there with a burnt.
Yeah.
Hint of something. Mind you, where we record this is a ways from where you would be cooking. So please do tell what in the hell is going on with your food choices right now.
So, I work from home, and I thought to myself,
I'm going to make toast.
Sometimes I want to put on the 10. Put on the scale of the 10. No, we won't talk about it yet, but I was in Vegas this weekend. And sometimes people, you go so much that you just get in the routine of going. And sometimes you just need to have that moment of just relaxation, and then if you take your time out, you might figure out how your life is going, and you might go, you know what, I need to make my changes. So now I see that now because I've slowed down enough.
Okay, hold on. Disclaimer. This is Travis feeling guilty about whatever the hell happened in Las Vegas.
No.
And how he's feeling now that he is home. And so now he's trying to take a step back and try to portray to the listeners that he's holier than thou now and saying, well, I've taken a nice look in the mirror. I've taken a nice look in the mirror after my sinful weekend. And sometimes you just need to relax. Sometimes you just need to get back on track. Okay, disclaimers. There you go.
That's a disclaimer. No, it was the fact that I was eating too much, and I'm like, I got to eat healthier. So he's right about something. But I'm like, you know what? I work from freaking home. Like, I should be cooking every day. Like if you worked from home every day, you could spend half your time just checking on a sauce or checking on, getting.
For sure, dude.
Yeah, and so it's like, You'd be your own live-in chef. It'd be you. And so,
right.
So for me, it's like
you could wear whatever you want.
I could wear just Kiss the Chef apron, and that's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm like, I'm gonna get back into cook. I'm gonna get into cooking. So like, of course, I'm like chicken parmesan, and if you've been a ride or die Hollerin with Hollenbeck listener, which there's several out there. From the earlier episodes that one of the things that Joey said was that he loves chicken parmesan, but he hasn't. That's the one thing that he just hasn't completely felt mastered yet. Now that was a year and a half ago.
I feel as if I've mastered.
No, you're at that point. So that's why I'm going to come to you for some answers. So I kick it off. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm going to make the sauce. Sauce turned out decent. Like I'm going to say really, really good.
Okay.
And then, it comes to the cooking the chicken. Now I double, egg. I filleted it in half or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then
do you cut it completely in half like that?
No.
Do you just leave it that big?
I cut it and it's just like almost like a heart. It's like a heart,
So you basically just cut it in half.
Yeah,
lengthwise.
But
so you're making a thin breast.
Yeah, and I keep it together.
Okay.
Right. So then I get the egg yolk on it, put a little salt, just beat the crap out of the egg yolk, nice and fine. Throw it in the bread, back out into the egg, back into the bread. So double bread it, and then I put it and
breading. Are you talking like breadcrumbs? You talking
Italian
panko?
Italian breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I put it on the cast iron, and the cast iron I put with a little olive oil. Now,
fry it up.
Here's the thing. That olive oil, by the time I flip it over, it's soaked into that breading.
It's not hot enough when you put it on.
Is that, well, I feel like
Well, olive oil, the threshold on olive oil isn't like super high heat. So
I'm putting it too hot when I put it on.
Well, no, this olive oil won't hold as a real good, from my experience.
Okay.
Maybe somebody can tell me different than
an
actual chef. But olive oil, the threshold for heat on it, it'll burn at a certain point where like a avocado oil or like a vegetable oil, for instance, will not. Like you can fry in it.
And so are you recommending that I don't use olive oil?
No, I wouldn't.
And I would move it.
Or if you have an air fryer. So are you putting Parmesan in with your breadcrumbs?
Okay, so I know I say chicken Parmesan, but I've actually never put the Parmesan. I guess it's just breaded chicken.
No, you
on a sauce.
The Parmesan melts in with that kind of breading.
And then I just put mozzarella on top and broil it. So I'm just doing breaded chicken with.
But you could throw it in an air fryer and you'll get crispy chicken too, like really crispy chicken. I would definitely recommend Parmesan because otherwise you're just making chicken with cheese and sauce. The Parmesan definitely has a role. Definitely has a role in that, buddy.
Huh.
It's okay. You got to start somewhere.
It's like, I guess it's like saying, oh, so yeah.
Does the Parmesan like throw you off, or like how hard is it to put like
I just never
cup of Parmesan in with your?
I just never did it.
Do you season the breadcrumbs?
Some salt and pepper, and then that's it. Okay. But I guess the main thing here is what we've learned is that for chicken Parmesan, probably should put some Parmesan.
Exactly.
And I just never did that.
And then what you do, which is different than what I do, like sounds like you put all your sauce in a pan and then just plop your chicken in there and then put cheese over the top.
I rest it right on top. Right on top. Good presentation.
Where I do it opposite. It's more of the chicken playing the role, and then I just put a big spoonful of sauce over each breast, and then put the mozzarella cheese over the top, and then let it melt on there. And so it's your chicken's the performance, but you still get the sauce and the cheese. You're doing it more of a sauce cheese with a sprinkle of chicken.
Gosh, I'm all over the board on this puppy. So
it's okay. There's websites that'll show you how to do it too.
Yeah. That's what I was watching, and then I got halfway through and said, I got this. And
can we get back to what the burnt smell is, though?
That's what it is. So what it is like I didn't realize that I had to keep like olive oil in my pan each time I put something in. So when I flipped it over, it had burned off, and then it just burned the other side. There was nothing.
Yeah, because there's no.
It was just a hot pan at that point. It was like searing a.
You got to use a different oil, dude.
Yeah, I just realized that now. And anyways, it definitely got super smoky, super burnt.
But you kept going even though you could
smell at this point,
smoking and burning.
I'm like, you know what?
That's a true. Like, you know what? I'm going to salvage this.
I gotta make it through.
So what did you do? Cut a 1/4 inch off of the chicken?
So it was just the breading that was burnt, obviously. So I scraped that off.
Okay.
And so one side was good, and that went on the bottom, and then I put the mozzarella on and covered the
burnt
where I scraped stuff off because I still want to taste that bread. So
okay.
And so then I learned that, and then I was just constantly just like every time I put one on, I'd fill it up with, or not fill it up, but I'd put a little olive oil, let that cook for a couple minutes. Then I'd pick it up with my tongs, throw some more olive oil in.
Are you just putting like a teaspoon or two in there? Or
yeah.
I would freaking load it up a little more than that.
Just
because of you're actually trying to fry something, right? So. Yeah. And I would use a different oil, or a foolproof way to do it is just legit spray an air fryer and check the temperature.
So can you tell me real quick how to air fry it? Like, what do you say? Spray an air fryer? What do you mean by that? I got an air fryer. Like, what would I do?
Spray the inside of it with like cooking spray.
Okay. And does that moist it up a little bit?
No, it just keeps from sticking.
Oh, okay.
And then set the chicken parm inside there, and then it's already preheated, right?
Yeah.
So whatever 380 or whatever you want to do it at, probably about 380, and then put it in there and then watch it. And then about probably 10 minutes in, you're going to flip it and the top will be crispier than the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you flip it and then the bottom gets crispy. And then what I do is put the sauce on as it's in there.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle the cheese over and put it back in for a minute. There's no sauce on it at this point.
So let me ask you this. Oh, no, I understand that.
And then I put it back in until the cheese is melted. It's done. Get the next one going.
Okay, so yeah. So how am I supposed to make a dinner for 5, and just sit down? Am I just like, okay.
Well, wait a second. Are you putting 5 chicken breasts in your cast iron?
Yeah, I got 2 cast irons going. That was another thing that was. I was.
So listen, Chap. If you just have like a baking sheet and just start your oven at like 200,
yeah,
and then put them right in there afterwards, they'll stay warm the whole time without overcooking them.
Okay, so wait,
then you can just make your whole meal after the fact.
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty simple. It just takes practice
and time if you're going to be feeding 5.
But if you think about it, the chicken breast after you butterfly it, it's going to be
a little bit
basically
quicker.
A helping of 2.
Yeah.
So you cut it down the middle, and there you go. There's 2.
Yeah.
4, 5.
How big's your air fryer?
Just a normal one.
I got one it's probably the size of like 2 cereal bowls.
Like a Costco one?
Yeah.
From Costco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if you had like a massive air fryer that you're like, oh yeah, no, I could.
No, I don't.
Chunk some of these things out.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts here. How was Vegas?
Vegas was good.
What was your best meal? Walk me through it.
Can we save Vegas for the next meal? Because I've got the most embarrassing story, or the next episode.
Sure.
I've got to write it in a blog first. All the Patreons get the story first in a blog. So I do some sneak stories, and then they know, oh shoot, this story's being told to Joey. Can't wait to see Joey's reaction to it. Right, and then if I tell it to Sean, or if I tell it to the Garage Night guys, then they're all amped up for it. So if you want to be a Patreon, $5 a month, I'll tell you my story. Not all of them, but a few stories that happened to me. You'll read about it first, and then you'll be able to listen later and hear Joey's reaction to it. So we're gonna hold off on the Vegas until. All
right, what else you got for me?
Okay, so, you played. What was your first year in the NFL?
2.
So Tom Brady drafted 2 years prior to you playing.
Yeah.
In 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Now
just finished right now.
It's insane. And granted, he's a quarterback. Like O-line, your knees are buckled in.
I was just thinking today, like, my hip feels like shit today. This is awesome. As I'm doing nothing.
As I'm standing in line for
I don't know
another
though, bro.
bagel.
I will tell you, I'm on keto, so no. I will tell you though, and I'm a firm believer in this, that if you continue to do your day to day and train, and you're in that environment, I could have played for a lot longer. Not to say that I couldn't have when I was done.
Yeah.
But at about like the 4 to 6 month stage of being out of it, my body started to like try to heal itself, and that's when I felt everything.
Oh, really?
Because when you're in it,
you're
beat up every week.
You're always feeling.
You have a couple days. Yeah. You beat up every week. You have a couple days. You beat up every week. You have a couple days. Off season hits. Maybe take a week or 2 off, but you still don't want to get too far out of the loop. And then you're training, and then you're doing drills, and then you're training, and you're doing drills, and then mini camps, and then boom, and then training camp starts again, and then the season starts again, and it's a year-round job to stay in shape and get bigger, get faster, do whatever to, perfect your art, if you will. And then, but once it's done, once you're out of it, is when your body starts to hurt.
Well, so that's the thing where I was just impressed by, but I think he's also quarterback. Do you feel like it's a quarterback and a punter and a kicker could, like Adam Vinatieri? Obviously, he's kicking. He's not getting smashed every friggin' play. If you watched
the last few games of Brady, he was probably a little sore after those games.
Yeah, he was hitting
the turf quite a bit. And it's just weird too. Like, I'm as an offensive lineman or defensive lineman for that matter, you're firing out like that you're going to collide every play. Whereas a quarterback, you're getting hit while you're on your back foot, for instance,
right.
Or it's never the same hit. I don't feel like, right? They're hitting you low, they're hitting you high, you're getting rolled up on. It's just different dynamics. It's just hard to like. I mean, I would think it would be hard to
stay healthy.
Yeah, like stay. I mean, just you never know what's coming at you. Whereas
right.
An offensive lineman, you could get rolled up on. Somebody's coming at you. Like you pretty much know what could happen.
How it's gonna. Yeah.
I mean, essentially, right? But and mind you, like Pop Warner, when I was playing Pop Warner, I would try out for quarterback every time.
Why is that?
Because I had a gunslinger on me, dude.
Did you?
I could throw the ball.
Did you make it?
I could throw the rock. They'd be like, "You're a hell of a quarterback, but you're going to be a great offensive lineman." I was like, "Okay."
Again,
just a chubby little 9-year-old.
Wait, did they do any offensive?
I was actually like 11 or 12.
Did you ever do a O-line Cougar sneak where you rolled out? Did they ever call your number?
No, we didn't have that type of stuff when I was playing.
Oh yeah, leather helmets and
we were just hard nosed, no water breaks. Just freaking line up and play.
Are there any current college coaches that you look at and you just go, "This guy is a joke," and or
to be completely honest with you, this year in college football and NFL, honestly,
yeah,
I did not get to or didn't watch
hard that much
at all. So I couldn't tell you like. I mean, I tried to follow it the best I could,
right.
And I'd check in on the scores of like games that like I was interested in, but at the same time, like until like this postseason with the NFL stuff, which was a phenomenal postseason,
incredible,
every single game was dynamite.
Yes,
and then towards the end of like college with like the Apple Cup and different things like that, so. Watch those, but for the most part, dude, I didn't watch a ton of football or follow it for that matter. Mm-hmm. I was just like grinding, and so yeah, I didn't get to watch a ton of it.
Yeah. So I'm going
back to Cali.
Yeah, and
I don't think so.
I went to KP's house the other night, and Mike on the mic was there, and and it was just quick. Me and Jamie just dropped in, and he has a golf simulator. Have you?
Oh yeah, dude.
So
I've never played at his place, but I've played.
Oh, I think your swing would probably put a club through
it down
the ceiling. No, I'm just saying on your way up. You're a lot taller.
My first experience with a golf simulator was actually. In college, we had
Was it a Nintendo?
No. We had a place that opened, and this is Pullman, right? So there was never like maybe my last year or 2 years, maybe like the end of my sophomore year, this place opened, and it was basically like a bowling alley, arcade, golf simulator, and like full bar, like beers, like whatever. So family establishment, but also like you go there and crank beers, bowl, like whatever. And we used to go like on our day off, like 3 of us linemen would go and just slam pitchers of beer and play like Terry, whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
We'd play just these great courses, but it was a simulator. But we had a blast doing it. But I didn't play golf a ton then because you're playing football. Like,
right.
And we didn't even have, I guess they had a course in Pullman, but not like they do now.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to warm up and I put a ball into his ceiling. Like I popped it up so hard and so fast, it like indented his ceiling. So I don't know if I'm going to invite it back, but yeah.
In real life, that ball would have probably went about 30 yards.
30 yards up in the air, and then probably plopped at my feet like
so dig out
for sure. Now that it also so I was thinking about the simulator, and it kind of reminded me of just like back in the day when you would go get in the batting cages, and I feel like batting cages were just so much fun.
They were. And now you drive by them in Kent, and you're like, womp,
womp, womp. But when you were a kid, it was like, put another quarter in there, and you got another 5 more minutes.
Just sitting there, envision this, like, get up to the plate with the bat, fix my helmet, knock the dust off each one of my cleats, bring that thing back, 1 foot in the box, 1 foot out. Bring that thing up and then just strike like 4 times before you barely connect on one.
Yeah.
And then it just dribbles. And you're like, whoa, that thing's coming a little fast. Okay. Then you'd go like, I'm going to try the softball one and then just whiff because it's coming too slow. Man. Me? Hey, Dad, let's go on the golf cart.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa, Dad. Is that
burnt chicken parm?
Do you smell that cheese, Dad? Dad, can I get some nachos? Like, no, we're here to play baseball.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Dude, but it wasn't Auburn. It was Auburn Family Sports Center.
Kent Fat Bat.
That's where you went?
Yeah.
See, like Auburn Family Sports
Center.
But
you got to act. I'm just, just so you know, I wasn't there like weekly. It was like, I think I went twice in my life.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like I was, it wasn't like I was Hey, Mom, call the driver. I'm gonna go down to Fatback. No, dude, it wasn't like that.
In Kent,
it wasn't like that at all. Go outside and throw a tennis ball at the wall and try to hit it.
What was your? See, I went on my nice little endeavor. We'll talk about that next episode. Most embarrassing story. I almost am not gonna. I almost want to not share it.
You have to,
but I have to share it now. You
can't just build it up and then not share.
No, I'm going to share it, but it's very.
My eyes are actually watering in here because the smoke is so thick.
It is. It's like I barbecued in here. You can still smell it. At least it could be on my clothes that you're smelling it off my clothes.
Maybe my eyes are legit watering.
Yeah, they are. They're as pink as your shirt right now.
No, crepes.
So, but when you went to did you go to Ocean Shores as a kid? Long Beach, get those go-karts, go bowling. Did you do any vacationing as a kid?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Not like camping? Did you ever go camping with the fam?
I went camping one time and my grandpa picked us up. Me, my sister, my brother Josh was still really young. And then my cousin Zach and Nate. And I don't think Jake or Bo was around yet. Or definitely not Corey. But my grandpa was in the military, so he was based at Fort Lewis, and so he could get a hookup on a RV, right? So he picked us up, and us as little kids, we don't know where we're going or whatever. But I got a fishing pole for my birthday, and just this little fishing pole, the one with the click button and you just launch it.
Oh yeah,
but it was full size, but click button, And so he'd pick us up and he drives around for 2 hours.
In this RV?
No. It's a trailer, right?
Oh, okay.
But then he has the old school.
Truck.
He probably still has it. Station, not Suburban, old school.
Oh,
blue, white, blue two tone. I used to rock it in high school a little bit when my car would break down every other week. So he drives us around for 2 hours. We don't have a clue where we're going. So he's taking us on the back roads back in about where you grew up. I've never been out there. We end up at Canasket Palmer.
You look familiar, by the way.
We end up at Canasket Palmer. I had no idea where we were. But then one of the nights, we were there for 2 nights or 3 nights.
Wait, he drove around just to make it seem like you guys were
in the middle of wilderness. So we get there, and then one of the nights, my aunt and uncle show up, and my mom, and I'm like, man, you guys drove all the way out here to hang out with us? And little do you know, it's 15 minutes from home. But yeah, yeah. So that was the only, honestly, dude, being the oldest of 5, there was no vacation. We didn't go on a vacation.
Not to Sun Lakes or anything. When did you ever do not a
things started happening with that, with the family going on traveling, and I was in college, but they would go to Blue Lake every year. And
so you're looking at, so you're like, oh yeah, I'll see you guys at Blue Lake
for a day. Disneyland when I was in training camp. I'm like, fuck.
So then in high school, did you guys ever do the, hey, let's get the guys together and go to
we did
go to the potholes?
We went to Las Vegas one time, and I was in high school. We went to Vegas.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did, and it was.
How have I not heard this story?
Well, we went with the whole family.
Oh, I thought you meant all the guys.
No, okay. Went with the whole family. So it was Zach, all my cousins, aunt, uncle, my mom, and all of us kids. But I was 16, I think, 17.
Were you walking through and they weren't carding?
17, I had a fake ID. I had something. And I would break away from the group. But we were doing MGM used to have a huge theme park back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And we were doing stuff like that. It wasn't, and then my uncle would be stand right here. And he'd go drop 200 on red or something on roulette and then walk back and just be shit. All right, kid, let's go. Keep going, right? But there was 9 kids walking through a damn casino, right? Everywhere, going to the pool.
Were you able to grab some alcohol there?
Oh yeah. So I'd sneak away, and the next thing you know, I'd show back up with a Yardo margarita. My mom would be like, Joseph, and I'd be like, what? Somebody was handing them out.
Yeah.
She's just shake her head and laugh.
Didn't even care.
I didn't get tanked.
I know you get tanked, but plus you're walking around everywhere. You're not driving anywhere.
Yeah, I wasn't getting tanked. But that was the only trip. I bungee jumped on that trip.
Well, so I asked, what was the thing? When did you get the guys together, like the bros in high school? Did you ever do the pothole strip? Hey, we're gonna go east side for 2 nights, 1 night.
The only trip I ever took with the dudes was probably Jeremiah and Seth and I when we went to Pullman.
That was the one where were you?
I was recruited.
Were you the one sitting in the back?
No, I was in the front.
Oh, Jeremiah was in the back.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I didn't, dude. Once I was focused, I wasn't going anywhere but the gym and the track and strength shoes and
I like that. Focused.
Home.
Yeah. See, now I think it's because I feel like this winter it's just been cold. They consistently like 38 degrees. And I'm getting tired of it. And we're in February.
How was the weather in Vegas?
It was 6. Yeah, I can tease you a little bit. It was 68. You know, it was for me hoodie and shorts weather. It was something like that. You know,
it was 68, but I was never outside. So,
well, no, I mean, I had to walk between the casinos. So, but yeah, and another teaser. Booked the next trip. Booked the next trip already.
When?
End of March.
You always problem. Do you ever want to see the rest of the country or the world for that matter?
Okay, so I sat down and talked to Jamie about this. And I started telling my parents this, and my dad's like, watch it, buddy. Like, he was not...
Oh, he's going to throw on you?
Oh, he was... I mean, So, I'm like... I was talking...
I want to throw on you, too, sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's true. But he was like, listen, my dad's very... Well, I'll tell you why. So, I was telling Jamie, I'm like, why is it me, a guy who doesn't get in much trouble, I do like fun, you know, I'm not... I mean, I'll have beers. I mean, I'm not a hardcore drinker. I do like to gamble. But why is it like Sin City, Vegas? You know, I'm a Christian. I'm a guy that believes. Like, why am I like loving Vegas? Like, I can understand going there every once in a while, but like all the time. And I think
5 times a year. Yeah,
I think there's a similarity. And that's why I told my dad, and he almost did a throat rip on me. But to me, it was like. I think there's similarities with heaven and Vegas, and I said that, and that almost, I'm telling you, I was lucky it was over the phone, because I almost got, I mean, if it was face-to-face, I would have definitely been.
Please do explain what you're talking about.
Okay, so here's why. There's freedom. You can do a lot more, roam a lot more.
As far as what, with a beer in your hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that there's hope. Like, I could go to like Arizona on a golf trip, but I know that I'm not gonna like have it paid for. You go to Vegas, like, hey man, I could hit it big, and it could be paid for. And so I think there's hope there too. So there's hope for heaven, that there is a heaven, hope, and there's hope at Vegas, and I might win money. So I think there's some similarities there. That was it. But my dad,
listeners, please pray for our friend.
Please pray for me. I do need it. I do need to win. Pray for the wins. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
But we also, okay, we'll talk about it next episode. We're talking too much.
That's
but
bad.
That is bad.
That's
bad.
bad.
That was bad. That was a joke. Bad.
That
was a joke. Bad.
Oh, Papa Kenny did not like
it. He did not. He said, you better watch it. And I'm like, well, I was just like trying to
make you laugh?
No, I was dead serious.
Okay.
Like, I was like, hey, there's hope, you know, like there's freedom, and he's just like, you know, you're talking about Vegas and comparing it to heaven, like that's that's sacrilegious. Like he goes, you're on very thin ice right now. So I was like, okay, got to move on. So
then we booked another trip.
And that was the thing. I called.
What did they say when you called back? Him? You came to the well one too many times, fat boy. You're done.
They were down there with us this past time.
I know.
Yeah.
Your whole family.
And
your bro and everything.
And uncle and all that.
Jeez, is your bro still in jail down there?
Yeah, he still is.
Oh, boy.
But I was calling, and I, you know, as a person that I like to talk, I like to woo people, I like to play to get my way a little bit. It was dead. I was telling a true story, but I thought my parents would like the vibe when I'm like, hey, you know, heaven's like Vegas. By the way, we booked another trip. Do you want to watch Jacqueline while we're gone? And I couldn't even get to, I mean, the goal there was to get them to watch Jacqueline, and I couldn't even get there. So I had to like reroute it. Like I was like, yeah, I was rerouting. It's one of those times where you like miss your exit on and you think you're going the right way. You miss your exit with like the Maps app, and you're driving, and then they
end up in the water,
and they're like rerouting, U-turn, reroute, go to, and that's how I was. I missed my exit. I had to reroute. Got there though. They're watching the kid.
What'd you do? Hit mom up on the side? On a
No,
text?
same. They're on the same line. They're on the same line. And here's the thing, okay? I got one more thing for you. Then we'll jump back into you. I do like that this has turned into a...
Yeah, hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Full Buddy Cast.
Talking with Trav. Hollerin with Hollenbeck talk. Anyway.
Go ahead. I just fell asleep over here. But
so I got
toothpicks in my eyes because they're burning so bad.
My mom's birthday is that weekend that we booked, April 3rd. Okay?
You are going to hell. I'm just kidding.
You know, so
I wouldn't wish that.
I was halfway through explaining it to them when at that moment I realized, oh shoot, it's my mom's birthday, and now I'm asking them to watch my kid, and I go, hey, I know it's your birthday, but I realized it at that moment. So then,
how did you realize that it was Jamie? Like it's her birthday?
Like I was just like, as I was going, so we're gonna be gone April 3rd and April 4th, come back April 4th, and I realized April 3rd is my mom's birthday, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. So Jamie did not want to stay that long. She's like, we're staying way too long. I was going for a 5-nighter.
Oh my dude! How do you do Vegas for 5 nights every other month? That's insane. Like, what else can you see? And I'm sure you have like your little like neat niche spots where you're like, okay, I want to eat here again. Okay. Right. And then you just do the same trip over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then it's like, okay, this is stupid.
Man, you've got it nailed down. But
you do the same trip and then you're like, okay, how about this one? Let's try this new restaurant this time. Other than that, we'll keep the trip the exact same. exact same as we did last time.
That's exactly
Play the exact same machines. Do the exact same thing. It might be a little warmer, so I'll give us 4 hours at the pool. And then other than that, we're going to do the same exact thing we just did.
That's hilarious. You're absolutely correct. So, yeah. Anyway, you're right. But then, so I told Jamie 5 nights, and Jamie's like, dude, no way am I going 5 nights. Like, she's like, 3 nights.
Tops.
That's it. And then we're out of there.
You do not need more than 3 nights.
Yeah. And so
nothing good happens after 3 nights.
And so then
you're either in the hospital, jail, or
divorced.
Broke.
Yeah. I told my mom though, I called her back. I said, hey, we're coming back on Saturday now. We're gonna celebrate your birthday. Yeah, and I couldn't tell her that, and I said, well, that's good. We can celebrate my mom's birthday. Like I was like, that's great. When I told Jamie that, she was like, yeah, that's good. That's perfect. That works out well. But I'm an idiot. Like people don't know that.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
No shit.
And Jamie's the smart one. And so I need, like, if I were to say, oh yeah, and I said we could celebrate your birthday, my mom would then view that as, now you're just schmoozing me because you're an idiot. You wouldn't think that, right? Like she would. Yeah. So you're not just schmoozing me. Nah, but if I said, and Jamie said, well, that's great because I kind of said it. But anyway, I gave Jamie full credit. I'm like, and Jamie said that we could celebrate your birthday now, and she's like, you know what? She's a good one. She's a good one. And so I told Jamie, I'm like, hey, I just scored you some more points with my mom. They love her. They absolutely love her. For me, that so I can be the idiot still. But if I said it, she would think that I'm just trying to like work the room. So anyway,
good story.
Great story. But yeah, I just need sun right now, man. I'm so tired of just the cold.
You ever just go tanning?
I heard that they don't do that. Doesn't do anything anymore.
It doesn't do anything. Like
they don't. Like they kick the UV rays way down, and so you don't get that base tan. You
go lay in one for 10 or 20 minutes.
Well,
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
When was the last time you did it? When have you done it?
I haven't in a long time, but I'm just saying this time of year would be the time to do it.
So you're saying, okay, you're saying, hey, $30 trip to at a half and 20 minutes in a tanning bed, rather than a $2,000 trip to Vegas, and you can.
I'm just saying it might help your mental health.
I need mental health.
Mental health with your sun craving. You get out of there, you feel like you got a little fake vitamin D, a little color in your skin.
Yeah. Let's do it together. You want to do it together?
No.
We should do a video of us going in.
Absolutely not, Trev. Absolutely not.
We should switch beds halfway through.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I like that hat though.
Thank you. It's a dope hat.
What's the new what do you got for me, bud?
Well, let's do this, okay?
I'd say you writing some stuff down.
Well, I'm also writing things down as I go to help me edit because I got to get this out tomorrow morning. But I really, gosh, I can't wait to tell you the story. We got about 5 to 10 minutes left.
Don't rush a good thing.
But
you're rushing a good thing.
We are.
You're trying to.
Who's your Super Bowl pick?
Rams.
Do you like that pick?
I do.
Are you the guy that's like, hey,
I became a fan. I became a fan after watching them these last few weeks.
But so talk to me about how you became a fan.
Their defenses are their D-line are freaks.
Freaks.
Like stupid freaks. Like entertaining to watch, like, oh my
bowl
goodness.
People over like continually.
They're freaks. Like to see Tom Brady hit the ground as much as he did, to see like just watching him in the last few weeks. And let's go back to how amazing these last few weeks have been
football-wise.
NFL football. It has been absolutely absurd to see these games come down to the wire, the comeback.
Right.
One team think they got it and the other team take it and win it. Like, and how bad do we feel for AJ Green right now?
Because he was he on the wait?
No, he was with the Bengals for 10 years.
Oh yeah, and then he goes
bounced
to the
this year,
Cardinals, right?
Bounced this year, and then they go to the Super Bowl.
I don't feel that bad for him. Maybe he was the weak link.
Now they just need a quarterback.
But they also.
Well, did you check this out?
Yeah,
Burrows, Heisman, national championship, and could possibly win a Super Bowl. Never happened in a 3-year span, ever. That is freakish, dude. That guy's that QB's legit.
He is. He's probably the best Joe quarterback, and I just say it for the Niner fans that listen, because Joe Montana. I think Joe Burrow is the best.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like that's pretty high, like
dude, and it's the Bengals
accolades. Like, yeah. It's not like he was diving into like a phenomenal team.
Yeah, the Bengals.
Right. So Heisman, national championship, and then a national championship with LSU, and then takes a Bengals to the Super Bowl as a rookie?
No, he's not a rookie.
Or the second year?
Yeah, second year.
Yeah, that's insane. Over a 3-year span.
Right. And then you got Jamar Chase. Whoever thought that up said, hey, let's get the dynamic wide receiver that was a dynamic wide receiver with this dynamic quarterback in college. Let's pair them back up again. That's a pretty interesting idea. They did that. Somebody else did that.
You should go for a GM job.
I already am.
You are?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But everyone is applying right now. But yeah, that's so smart. Who else did that? Somebody else actually did that this year too. I'm trying to remember who it was. But they
crushed it.
They drafted
This is a prime example, and this is something I learned in college when Gesser came in. And your quarterback, as you could have the best everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a good quarterback that can drop dimes and sit in the pocket
and
be somewhat of a leader, you're going to be average. If you get somebody who comes in that can move and is dynamic and can put balls on point and run and not afraid to stick his neck on the line and just like lead a team, everybody rallies behind him and they're like, let's go. Like, sky's the limit, right?
Right.
Like, let's go.
Right.
Like, I learned that in college, and Gesser was a freak, dude. When he stepped in and we went like my junior year, which would have been his sophomore year, we came in together, but me starting before them, and they were still redshirted. But my junior year, their sophomore year, I mean, we lost 5 overtime games. And then my senior, which would have put us in a bowl, like everything. Then my senior year, we ran the table. We went 10-2, and then he went back to the Rose Bowl, and then they ran like a 4 major bowl game streak like after our class.
So what happened after?
What do you mean?
I mean, I feel like he had good success. What did that translate to? Like after college?
Gesser?
Yeah.
He had a stint with the Titans, I think. Short one, and then he wanted wanted to be like the best. He wanted to be a coach. Like he wanted to be Mike Price.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you ever keep in contact with any of those guys?
Yeah. Gessner and I talk all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's real cool.
Yeah, he's in Washington still.
So you protected him for 1 year.
No. 2.
2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Was it your senior year that you went in, or that you injured, or between your junior and senior year that you had to switch offense to?
No.
Oh wait,
freshman to sophomore.
Defense was And so what happens with those guys that because if he came in at the same time you did he have 5 years of college?
Yeah. So what happens is,
do you just take
you come in as a rookie class,
right?
Which Gesser and I were in the same class amongst many other guys. And then you go to training camp. And at some point in training camp, they pulled 2 of us out and said, you're on red alert, which means you travel with the team.
Suit up.
You do everything with the team.
Yep.
You suit up. If we put you in a game, your red shirt's gone. And you have 4 years here because we think you're that good of an athlete. So everybody else in my class redshirted, which means you basically are the scout team at practice. You train every morning. You do different things than like a traveling player does. Mm-hmm. So like I wouldn't work out. I would work out like 3 days a week in the morning. I just had a different schedule than they did. Didn't mean, and then we were still in the same class, and then second game of the season, they put me in. Mm-hmm. So my red shirt was gone. So now I'm essentially a year ahead of these guys in my eligibility. Now in schooling, that's why I stayed there year round and went to school so I could get my degree in 4 years. Because at that point, I knew I wasn't going to get my degree if I didn't stay year round. You know.
So I thought people got their degrees in 4 years, but
you still can. But if you stay and a lot of guys did do the same as me. But I knew that so I came home one time my freshman year after my first year. I came home for like a quarter or like a summer, like a first stint of summer.
Yeah.
And when I got back, I went and started working out with the guys like Gleason and everybody with our strength coaches. And I was like, and I trained here, but I was like, A, right. I'm out of shape. B, I will never, ever miss a summer again. So I learned to love the summers there because the cool thing about summers is I took all my hard classes in the summer, like math and things that I didn't excel at very well.
Where you can focus on it without...
you go to it daily.
Yeah.
You go to the same class every day instead of maybe I had math on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So right. I could go every day, and that helped me a ton with trying to figure out all those whatever.
Have you forgot it all?
Yeah, I mean, I know what 2 + 2 is.
Yeah, see, that's the same way with me.
But you know what's funny, bro? Is seeing these things in a book and having somebody stand in front of you and teach you it, and then getting into the construction world like I'm in.
Yeah.
And being able to figure out the same exact things in a practical sense. I totally understand it. But to have somebody stand in front of me on a whiteboard,
right,
and try to teach it to me, it doesn't make. I'm like, I'd rather watch paint dry.
Yeah,
honestly,
right.
But to be able to be in the field and stand there and be like, okay, well, this is where this grade's got to be. This is where we got to shoot this. This is the math equation. This is how we got to do that. It's all relevant,
right?
But and it makes sense to me in the field, but it doesn't make sense to me on a book or a book.
Right.
I don't learn like that. So
I don't know how we've been able to do what we've been able to do. I think there's just so much. Even my kids. So Madden's graduating high school this year, which is crazy to me. Megan's right behind her. She's a junior, be a senior next year. And some of the stuff that I see, I'm like, dude, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah,
at all. And if you're a middle schooler or maybe a freshman listening to this right now, my advice is to save all of your electives you possibly can to your senior year.
That's what I do.
Just enjoy your senior year. Go do the art class. Go do be a TA. Go send notes around, whatever.
I had late start and I'd go in early and work out, and then I would go to class. And I had some gnarly classes my senior year, but then I had another workout, I think, in the afternoon, and then would go to work out again after that.
That was your senior year?
Yeah, at high school.
And then you and I played volleyball together.
I'd like to enjoy my time at lunch.
So were you all 3 lunches?
No. I only had one lunch.
No, I know, but did you like skip and go to all 3? That was the thing that was fun.
Dude, I was under the microscope a little bit. Like I had to get like a lot of stuff.
You're a big dude.
Well, not that, but like I had to get like all the time where I was a slap, like in school. Like I took going into my senior year, I went to Green River every single day and replaced any bad grades I had with A's. So, which bumped my GPA up, and then had to just do a bunch of different crazy stuff just because I screwed off when I was young. But I got it done.
And look at you now. Look at you now. Living it.
Here I am.
Doing it right. All right. So, everyone, thanks for listening. I'm going to shout out our Patreons real quick. Thank you very much to these Patreons for sticking it through. We've got Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Eric Madrid, Adam Kenny, Seth Loop. Oh, by the way, Seth wants to be on one of these bad. So here, Seth, I'm apologizing to you right now. You called me a couple weeks ago. You're like, hey, dude, can I get with Joey? And I said, yes, you can. Sometimes Joey, because of his busy schedule, my busy schedule, some of these things are like a couple hours beforehand where it's like, oh, hey, can you meet? Yeah. Can you meet? Yeah. Let's rock one out or rock 2 out. So we will plan one, Seth. I guarantee this is me. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. We will plan a time where we can all get together.
Bullshit. You want to talk to me about that?
Oh, is it because he's who stole your touchdown?
You know who did it.
We got Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Ira Potter, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson, Veronica Lara, Ben Illman, James Roberts, Jamie Kenny, Apollo Dago. I always forget that. And Jackson Zoidhook. Everyone, thanks so much for listening. Have a great week. And then we got disgusting. Disgusting. Sorry. Hollerin with Hollenbeck.
Holleback. Joey Hollenbeck.